My next guest is the newest member of the UFC's heavyweight division. Of course, he defeated Shawn earlier this week at Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. I'm talking about the Kraken. Juan Adams back here on the program. Juan, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
I bet you're doing great, and I'm doing well too. I appreciate you asking, and congrats, like I said off the top, on the UFC contract. For those in the know, we knew this was only a matter of time. Was there anything about Teed in that fight that surprised you at all, or was it everything you expected in the matchup?
Honestly, I was pretty surprised he shot in on me, and I was really shocked that he could take as many punches as he did. That was, but it went exactly as I expected. You know, I dominated. There's never a question in my head. Honestly, don't know why anyone would have thought differently.
Right. And what was the game plan heading into the fight?
The game plan was to, just play around on my feet as long as I could, and whenever I wanted to end it, I was going to go take him down in the fight, but I didn't have to.
Excellent. And so you get the victory, like you said, good win. You had that great post-fight speech and everything like that. Did you feel like you were getting the contract, or was there ever a little bit of worry in your head? Because you never know with the Contender Series.
Right. I was a little worried. I was really happy about the win, but Dana's been known to be fickle sometimes on the show, so there's been times he's taken one person, no people, or all of them. So I didn't know what kind of mood he was in. But I definitely felt that it was a dominant win for me, so I was happy with that either way.
And I think this was talked about on the broadcast, but I want to bring it up anyways. You actually cut from 300 pounds to get down to the heavyweight limit for the fight. How is that cut for you these days? Because I don't think a lot of heavyweights really have to do a cut like that.
And it's not fun by any stretch of the imagination. It's a tough one. It starts off at about 10 weeks out, we start cutting out, there's no alcohol or really, and we start incorporating more of a healthier diet all around, and we don't really start crunching calories until the last 6 weeks, but it's rough. So I get down to about 288, 289, and we like to be 2 weeks out. I like to be at 282, so.
And do you have someone that you work with to get down with the weight cut, or do you just do this on your own?
Yeah, my strength and conditioning coach, he's getting his degree in that. He's in his last semester getting that degree and also double majoring in nutrition. So he does all that. At the last 3 weeks, he actually cooks everything for me. Because they don't trust me on my own. I like food.
Yeah, I know that. I think the first time I interviewed you, you had like a big gulp or something that you were drinking.
Yeah,
so,
I'm actually at CC's Pizza. Doing my interview. So.
Not surprising at all, man, and it's well deserved. One other thing I wanted to ask you about the weight cut. I heard that Curtis Blaydes won't train with you anymore because you're too big. Is that true?
He didn't say it like that, but yeah, Curtis is just like, yeah, you're too big. We're really good friends and everything. It's just that. We're both competitive, large guys, so, if things do get out of hand, it's never happened before. It's just better to eliminate that risk altogether. And, he's every day, he could get a title shot or he could get a title call up any day. So I'd rather not risk injuring him either. So it's just better for both of us to not train together.
And how much did this win mean for your management company? Matt Leon, Rick Guerrero, who does a great job with you guys. You guys have been on a roll lately. Dominic Reyes tearing things up in the light heavyweight division. Curtis Blaydes, probably should have got a title shot next. Who knows what's happening there with Brock Lesnar? And then, of course, Alonzo Menafield gets the win on Contender Series as well. He's now in the UFC. Like, how cool is that to be part of that list, too?
Dude, it's amazing to be a part of the family. It means a lot to Rick, I'm sure, at Matt Leon. I actually just got my invoice from them too, so it means a lot.
Yeah, no, I bet. So you get the UFC contract. You do that great interview with Laura Sanko after the fight. You mentioned Taco Bell. Did you get any Taco Bell that night?
Bro, we went straight. Actually, we went to Creamberry first, and people were like, everyone wanted a picture. I was just like, I just want my ice cream burrito. Leave me alone. So I got my ice cream, and then we went to Taco Bell Cantina. And I got the Baja Blast. It was funny. I went up there. I go, look, I want the frozen Baja Blast and strawberry margarita. And he's like, that doesn't really go together. I'm like, I didn't ask you that. I just
Just
That
make the
and,
damn thing. Yeah.
yeah, 1,800 tequila, and then an extra shot on top of it. And they did it, and then I got a burrito supreme, and it was a great night.
Yeah, and because you're such a big guy, does it take a lot of alcohol to get you drunk?
Not after a fight camp. I was pretty done after that one.
Okay.
Actually, I'm still recovering from last night.
Yeah, I saw your
So,
tweet this morning. That was a great tweet, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time here today with everything that's going on, the celebrations and all that. What's been the feedback like on social media? I'm sure your followers are just shooting up. Like, you made a really good impression, not just with the performance, but I think people really got to see your personality as well after the fight.
Yeah, it's been nonstop. I actually had to mute everyone on Instagram. I had to put filters on everything. There's always going to be negative feedback. You're not going to please everyone, but people don't understand. Like my spiciest interviews are going to come right after a fight because I'm in war mode. You know, I'm training 10 weeks out of my life with one purpose in mind, and so I go in there with a mindset of a battle, and afterwards, like, you know, the edgier side of me is going to come out. Once I've had time to cool off a little bit, then it's all about food, you know?
Yeah, then that was a great promo. I mean, people who don't like it, I mean, come on. You got to like the entertainment aspect of the sport. I thought it was very well done. Was that something you just made up on the spot, or did you have that kind of in mind after the fight?
No, I made all that up on the spot.
Really? Okay, good. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was really good. If anyone hasn't seen it, go check it out. You know, Cole's notes, I mean, you pretty much just told him he had to lay off the barbecue, which I thought was hilarious. And you know, there's a lot of, you know, pro wrestling elements in this. And of course, you and I talked, you did try out for the WWE earlier this year. How was that whole process?
It was great, and it was actually funny because I was going through like a breakup during that time, so I wasn't myself, and they're all like, "What? Come on, we need to see some personality." They were wild by how athletic I was. You know, I was doing everything they asked me to, but I wasn't really feeling it till like the last day, and I was like dancing and stuff in there. It was a lot of fun though, and they told me, you know, maybe after I'm done fighting, I could go back and try out again. But at the end of the day, I was gonna have to choose one or the other, and I think I made the right choice.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you about that. I guess the focus now is just on the UFC, no pro wrestling aspirations, at least until after your career's over?
Yeah, not until after my career is over. So, you know, I might do some movies or something here and there. But
yeah, you got to expand the brand, man. Like I said, I think you've done a good job with that. As far as pro wrestling right now, like, do you watch it, or is there any like favorite wrestlers you have right now?
Yeah, actually, I do watch it now because two of my buddies did sign development. They're at NXT now. So.
Oh, cool. Who are they?
Stacey Irvin Jr. He was a gymnast on what was it, Michigan's championship team a few years back, and Denzel Dejournette. He went to App State, so we wrestled each other in college quite a bit actually. And he actually won conference my last year, but I beat him. I beat him that year, but I choked in the semis. So it happens, you know.
That's cool. What about growing up? Did you have any favorite wrestlers that you like watching?
Yeah, I loved Rey Mysterio. Really loved Eddie Guerrero. Carlito was awesome. And I actually liked Jimmy Wang Chang, or I forget what his name was. That might have been it. Jackie Wang Chang, something like that. He was a cruiserweight. I loved watching him fight. I loved all the guys that could do backflips. You know, it's a life goal right there.
Can you do a backflip, or is it too tough?
I can do one on like a trampoline. I can do it in a pool. I can do a front flip. I just can't do the back one. I don't know why. It's scary.
Now that you're part of the UFC, you should see about getting some hookups for tickets. We saw Colby Covington at Raw the other night, and you know, Ronda Rousey's in there now. It seems like there's a good relationship there.
Yeah, man, I love to go to events. A lot of my bouncer buddies, they still love it. So if I get tickets, I'll take one of them with me.
Okay, good stuff, man. Any idea when you want to return to the cage? You know, it seemed like you came out pretty unscathed from that fight.
Yeah, I actually want to take my coaches make me take 2 weeks off after a fight, but then we're right back into fight camp. So I want to get in there as early as October. I'm ready to go. I took 0 damage in that fight, and yeah, and I took 0 damage in that fight, and I'm ready to get back out there. You know, I've got a couple opponents in mind, and I'd love to fight. You know, but it is what it is.
Well, anyone you can mention? Anyone you're looking at on the roster?
Yeah, man. Like I already said I'd love to fight Junior Albini. That diaper incident cracked me up. I think it would just be a fun fight. Like he looks like it would be fun. And Mark De La Rosa or Mark De La Rocha. I don't really know his
Yeah,
name.
not De La Rosa, because De La Rosa's the flyweight, I think.
Oh no,
De La
no.
Rocha's the heavyweight. Yeah,
Yeah,
Chris De La Rocha. That's who you're thinking of.
yeah, him. I'd love to fight him. He just beat up another Texas guy, so get some payback for him. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. Like I said, you could line up that entire division in reverse order, and I'll go up at one spot at a time. They're all going to enter the abyss sooner or later. I'm not super worried about it.
Is there a card you're looking at that you want to get on? There's a couple interesting cards that are coming up this year. It looks like that New York one's looking pretty stacked with, it sounds like Conor McGregor's going to be on that card.
Oh yeah, man, I'd love to be on that card. Any card really. I'm just trying to get another fight in before the end of the year, definitely.
Okay. And I'm sure you've talked to your management, and I'm sure the UFC as well, but expanding that brand, like I said, you've got the personality, you're a big guy. I mean, that's what people seem to gravitate towards. I think that's why Brock Lesnar has so many eyeballs on him, being in the wrestling world and everything. Is that something you're going to be talking to them about going forward?
Yeah, definitely. I see the appeal of Brock Lesnar, and the thing is, at the end of the day, like, I'm bigger than any heavyweight on this roster. I'm bigger and I'm stronger than any heavyweight on the roster. I am naturally what Brock Lesnar had the juice to his teeth to get to, so I'm not really worried about it. I really do think I'm the next big thing, and everyone should just get on board because, I really think I can make this sport cross over into the mainstream a lot better, and people love me.
Good stuff, man. Well, we're looking forward to it, and thanks again for the time. I know you've been celebrating this week, so it's good that I was able to catch up with you, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any other thank yous or shout outs, man, the floor is yours.
Okay, definitely on social media, you can find me Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, all chosen Juan 285. My Facebook fan page is Juan the Kraken Adams. I need to shout out my sponsors for sure. First and foremost, Jet Hot Premium Coatings and FlemingAttorneys.com. Both of them made everything possible thus far. Made it so I can train full time, and I love it. And my coaches, of course, David Kelly, Jeremy Laughlin, Ryan Baker, who's also my nutritionist. You know, he's the reason that I don't have a dad bod. So that's so just huge shout out, huge thank you to all of them and my management company, of course, Monteleone. Oh yeah, lastly, definitely want to thank all the fans. Like y'all made it possible. I really felt like a hometown fight when I was out there. Yeah, especially guys at the Contender Series fights and all the people afterwards. It felt great.